This is QTV News coming to you live from our studios on Kairaba Avenue, and I am Asma Oba. Thanks for joining us. Here are the main news headlines. At the maiden Congress of the Advisory Council and inauguration of the specialized committees of the Supreme Islamic Council, the Vice President of the Gambia has called on Muslim leaders in the country to continue preaching peace and tolerance, especially during their Friday prayer sermons. The mayor of KMC and the 19 councillors who won the local government election in Kanifing municipality were sworn in at a colorful ceremony at KMC at the weekend. Respected Islamic scholar and former diplomat Professor Dr. Omar Jah presided over the launching on Saturday of 3 books on Islam authored by Imam Alhaji Usman Jah. The closing ceremony for the Made in Banjul International Surgical and Scientific Conference was held on Saturday in Banjul. In international news, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the former governor of Lagos, sworn in on Monday as the 16th president and commander-in-chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria. Those women headlines. Now the news in detail. Thank you for staying with us. The Vice President of the Gambia, His Excellency Muhammad B.S. Jallow, has called on Muslim leaders in the country to continue preaching peace and tolerance, especially during their Friday prayer sermons. He was speaking on Sunday at the maiden Congress of the Advisory Council and inauguration of the specialized committees of the Gambia Supreme Islamic Council. QTV's Ansumane Sonyasi was in attendance and he now reports.
The establishment of various committees is being welcomed by Islamic leaders as a milestone in the annals of the Council's history, and it marks a new chapter in their drive to reinforce Council's regional structures and reach out to all communities. Speaking to delegates at the Congress, Vice President Muhammad B.S. Jallow commended the Supreme Islamic Council's leadership for their foresight in setting up various committees to address some of their challenges, and called on religious leaders to always preach peace and tolerance.
Supreme Islamic Council.
Government recognizes the Islamic Council's work and your contribution to maintaining peace in the country. Personally, I appreciate you for all that you are doing for our beloved nation. However, I would like to implore all of you, especially our imams, to continue preaching peace. Talk about peace, tolerance, and peaceful coexistence. We are a small nation, so we cannot afford division amongst ourselves. Always rest assured of government support. He also called on Muslims in the country to remain united and always support the Council. Speaking earlier, the President of the Supreme Islamic Council, Alhaji Esa Dabo, and Buba Sanyang, Permanent Secretary at the Ministry of Lands, Local Governments and Religious Affairs, also called for more support for scholars and Gambian Islamic literature, empowerment of the various committees being inaugurated, as well as tolerance and peaceful coexistence. Our scholars have written many books to enlighten us about our faith and the world, but we are not utilizing them the way we should. A lot of bad things are happening in our society today that we can easily address if we come together and work for the betterment of society. These committees we have set up will make our work easier, and I ask that we all support them. Firstly, we should endeavor to choose the right people for these committees. Secondly, if you are selected to serve in any committee, please prioritize our collective interests. And thirdly, we must show respect to the people we are selecting and support them so they can do their work as expected. The Minister has asked me to extend his greetings and appreciation to all of you and to assure you of his continuous support and commitment. There were several other speakers, including Dr. Alhaji Kemondur, Aja Mariama Jallow, and Sheikh Omar S. Jatta, Head of Higher Education, Women and Social Welfare and Finance Committees, respectively. There are several other committees, including Fatwa and Moon Sighting, Culture and Islamic Heritage, Media and Communication, Advocacy and Guidance, amongst others. The event was also attended by advisors to Council, executive members, and heads of regional committees. Answane Sonyasi for KTV News.
The mayor of KMC and the 19 councillors who won in the local government election in Kanifing municipality were sworn in at a colourful ceremony at the KMC premises in Kanifing at the weekend. Lamin Dabo attended and he filed this report.
Elected officials of the councils are expected to be sworn in before starting their mandate, and hundreds of supporters and residents of KMC attended to celebrate the memorable event. After taking his oath of office, the mayor of KMC, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, congratulated the people of the municipality for giving him the opportunity to steer the affairs of the council for the next 4 years.
I use this opportunity to call on my fellow councillors and the staff of council to collectively rise to the challenge, to work together even more closely for our common master, you, the people of KM. Over the next 4 years, we will also call on the government to be our partner and our collaborator. We will do our utmost to work with the government so that together we can demonstrate to the people that through unity we can develop even faster development.
MC Cham Jr., a politician, expresses delight at having been part of Team Talib and sends this message to the residents of Kanifing municipality.
Campaign is over, but politics is not over. Everybody, if you have any ideas or any program that you think that is the way forward for the KMC, just come forward and meet the mayor and these councillors so that we can do this the work very easy for him and for everybody. The development of KMC is for development for everyone.
Nene Freda Gomez, women empowerment advocate, has this message for the women fraternity of Kanifing municipality.
All I tell the women, let's amplify our voices. We are the power. Hillary Clinton says women are the most untapped resources of this world, and Gambia is not an exception. It's about time, through the leadership of our Lord Mayor, has really empowered women to show them that you can belong and you can be. So we really need to take that momentum to run with it and know that we are and we elect.
Kemo Bojang, a KMC youth councillor, highlights the importance of youth empowerment as a priority for the KMC.
If you look at our 6-point agenda this year, number 6 on our 6-point agenda is youth empowerment and sustainability. We believe that we must be able to give social services to the people, especially young people, considering that they make up 67% of the population. We believe that we, as the biggest municipality, should lead the way in supporting young people. We will do our utmost best to be their representatives, to legislate in their favor, and to be here to make sure that KMC propels into the progressive urban city we want it to be.
After the ceremony, the Lord Mayor and the 19 councillors went to the council's chamber to elect the deputy mayor of the council, and Madam Binta Jane Jallo was unanimously re-elected as deputy mayor. For QTV News, Lamin Alaifandin Dabo.
Now, respected Islamic scholar and former diplomat Professor Dr. Omar Jah on Saturday presided over the launching of 3 books on Islam, religious tolerance and society, authored by Imam Alhaji Usman Jah. And Sumane Sonyasi again.
This book launch is a culmination of years of works, advocacy and mentorship programs for students pursuing Islamic education in the Gambia, mostly spearheaded by the revered Islamic cleric. Known for his candor, Imam Alhaji Usman Jah is revered within the Muslim community in the Gambia and beyond. Presiding over the launch of Imam Jah's 3 books, respected Islamic scholar and Gambia's former ambassador to Saudi Arabia, Professor Dr. Omar Jah, paid tribute to the author's literary prowess, adding that the books should be made available for students and anyone interested in reading because they cover important aspects of life and religion. He has done a great job by writing these important books based on knowledge and extensive research. His books will give us an opportunity to reflect deeply about some of life's most controversial topics, with a view to creating a platform for us to have serious and well-meaning conversations. I am very proud of his work. For Imam Usman Jah, this is a memorable moment as he marks yet another milestone in his life. He thanks his family and friends for the support they have and continue to give him. He also hopes that these books will be of great help to those seeking Islamic knowledge, especially students.
Bi may bind tasawuf téere bi ñu wax tasawuf.
I decided to write because I had a lot I wanted to share. I have been doing a lot of research on some of the most controversial topics in Islam, as well as topics affecting society. I hope that you find them interesting. I wish to also thank everyone who has been a part of my journey. Book reviewers Ustaz Musa Salah, Ustaz Mbai Saho and Imam Sey Jallo highlighted, among other things, some of the important topics covered in the books, including controversial topics on prayers, human rights, unity and peaceful coexistence. Several other speakers, including respected politician Khalifa Saleh, all congratulated Imam Jah and encouraged the public to read the books. Having started his formal Arabic education in 1973 in St. Louis, Senegal, Imam Ousmane Jah studied motor electrical engineering in Libya, where he graduated in 1977, before traveling to Saudi Arabia to study Islamic law, bagging a BSc in the prestigious Medina University. Having taught at Muslim High School for over a decade, he also served as Vice President of the Supreme Islamic Council and is a Justice at the Qadi Appeals Courts. The event was attended by renowned Islamic scholars from the Gambia and Senegal, Key Group Chairman Mohamed Jah, senior civil servants and cabinet ministers, amongst others. Antoine Sonyasi for KTV News.
We will now go for a commercial break, but when we return, we have more local as well as international news stories for you. Do stay tuned.
As the fastest growing GSM company in the Gambia, QCell has the widest 4G plus coverage in the country, 3 times faster internet speed than our competitors. So switch now and dial *335# and enjoy what true 4G feels like. QCell, Gambia's trusted network.
To make sure your company's products and services reach your potential customers, it is essential that you choose the right channel for your marketing purposes. QTV has the widest reach locally and beyond, and we can give your business the visibility it needs. Call QTV Marketing on +220 324 4444 or email us at marketing@qtv.gm and take your business to the world.
Welcome back. If you're just tuning in, you're watching QTV News, and I am Asma Uba. Now, the Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, in collaboration with the Foundation and University of the Gambia, held the closing ceremony for the Made in Banjul International Surgical and Scientific Conference on Saturday. Lena Igwenyiba has more.
The two-day scientific and surgical conference brought together over 200 medical professionals, including students of medicine and allied health sciences at the UTG, to share expertise, experiences and academic presentations. Dr. John N. Jabang, the senior consultant neurosurgeon and head of the Department of Surgery at Edward Francis Small Teaching Hospital, highlights major takeaways from the conference.
It did showcase a lot of work in terms of what we do as surgeons in the country. It also brought about very, very, very highly experienced, skilled international papers that we have presented, where everybody had learned something with regards diseases, with regards diagnosis, with regards therapeutics. By therapeutics, I mean treatment.
The presentations, which were all geared towards strengthening the healthcare system of the country, covered a range of health problems, including cancer, diabetes and childbirth, among other topics. Dr. Anu Paul, pediatric urologist at the Evelina Children's Hospital in London, applauds AFSTH for successfully hosting the conference.
But to see Gambia, a place that's very close to my heart, move forward in such giant leaps is particularly warming to the heart. So the experience has been a really, really good one. We're so impressed by how quickly the team on the ground has managed to pull this conference together. And you would think that when it's quickly pulled together, that the quality will not be great, but actually we've been absolutely impressed by the quality of the scientific presentations and the variety of good work that's going on in the Gambia.
Dr. Massimo Gariboli, a pediatric urologist at the Evelina Children's Hospital in London, having interacted with Gambian health professionals, is excited about the future of the Gambian health sector.
I say the Gambian doctors are fantastic, but not just the doctor. There is nurses, radiologists. I have a lot of good positive feelings about how the next few years will be for the medical health in Gambia, because we see a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm. We definitely want to help. We definitely want to bring here what is missing in terms of experience, in terms of equipment.
Paul Lawrence Mendy, a fifth-year medical student at the University of the Gambia, speaks about the impact the conference has had on his career.
It's actually a very great privilege for medical students to be part of this, because we were just learning about what we need, the knowledge we need in the field of medicine. Because what we have seen here, we have seen so many researchers, we have interacted with so many surgeons, we have interacted with so many doctors with experience, and this has actually gone a long way and cleared a path to where we are heading to post-medical school.
The free-of-charge surgical outreach that was held from the 22nd to 24th May conducted 102 general, pediatric, urology, gynecology, and orthopedic surgeries, and will now be extended till the 31st of May. Reporting for QTV News, I am Lena E. Gwenyiba.
That story by Lena E. Gwenyiba takes us to international news in a moment. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the former governor of Lagos, was sworn in on Monday as the 16th president and commander-in-chief of the Armed Forces of Nigeria at the Eagles Choir in Abuja after a disputed election. Julden Jai has more.
Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the candidate of Nigeria's ruling party, the All Progressive Party, won the highly contested presidential election on February 25th with just 36.6% of the popular vote, ahead of his main challengers Atiku Abubakar of the People's Democratic Party and Peter Obi of the Labour Party, who got 29.1% and 25.4% of the vote, respectively. Nigeria has an unusual electoral system in that the winning candidate needs to win a popularity of votes and win at least 25% of votes in more than 2/3 of Nigeria's states. The February elections were marked with irregularities, including violence at the polls, at logistical and procedural shortcomings, including the inability to upload election results from polling units in real time. As a result, the two opposition candidates challenged the outcome of the February election, questioning Tinubu's qualification and alleging that the results from the country's 177,000 polling stations were tampered with. Peter Obi claims to have evidence to show he tallied the majority of votes in the election, while Abubakar has asked the court to disqualify Tinubu, alleging that he has a Guinean passport and is therefore not eligible. In Nigeria, an election can be invalidated only if it's proven that the National Electoral Body likely didn't follow the rule and acted in ways that could have changed the result. During his inaugural speech, Bola Ahmed Tinubu described his predecessor Muhammadu Buhari as an honest and patriotic citizen who is worth emulating. President Tinubu says Nigeria will be a democratic state in both words and actions by consulting and reaching out to people whenever the need arises. He also pledged to fight terrorism and all forms of criminality that threaten the peace and stability of Nigeria. These are the same promises made by his predecessor, Muhammadu Buhari. Tinubu was the governor of Lagos from 1999 to 2007, where he is credited with a crackdown on organized crime and tackling the city's appalling traffic. Surprisingly, this was the state he failed to win in this presidential election. The 71-year-old politician is said to be an extremely wealthy man who established extensive patronage networks that have underpinned his political power ever since, according to experienced Nigerian analysts. Gambian President Adama Barrow joined several other African heads of state at the inauguration. During his visit, President Adama Barrow is expected to engage in bilateral talks that will further strengthen ties between Banjul and Abuja before his expected return to Banjul on Tuesday, the 30th of May. For QTV News, I am Julden Jai.
Also in international news, the UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres presented the 2022 Military Gender Advocate of the Year Award to Captain Cecilia Erzua, a Ghanaian military officer, in observance of the 2023 International Day of UN Peacekeepers. The day is commemorated annually on the 29th of May. Alusise reports.
The theme for this year's observance is Peace Begins With Me, recognizing the contribution and efforts of UN peacekeepers alongside many partners, including the communities they serve to secure peace. The UN says that over the years, more than 2 million peacekeepers from 125 countries have since served in 71 operations around the world. And today, 87,000 women and men are serving in 12 conflict zones across Africa, Asia, Europe, and the Middle East. The day, which was established in 2002, is also used to honor and remember the more than 4,200 UN peacekeepers who have lost their lives since 1948. At the UN General Assembly, medals were awarded posthumously to 103 military, police, and civilian peacekeepers who lost their lives serving under the UN flag last year. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres presented the 2022 Military Gender Advocate of the Year Award to Captain Cecilia Erzua, a military officer from Ghana who served in the UN Interim Security Force for the disputed Abyei area as the commander of the Ghana Engagement Platoon since March 2022. The oil-rich Abyei is an area on the border between Sudan's West Kordofan state and South Sudan's northern Bahr el Ghazal, Warab, and Unity states. She is celebrated for leading efforts in engaging local leadership, women's groups, and young people, which has been critical to the mission's success. She had also hosted discussions on domestic violence and gender equality, which resulted in local women enlisting in community protection committees that provide early warning on local security threats. Created in 2016, the award recognizes the dedication and effort of an individual peacemaker promoting the principles of the UN Security Resolutions on women, peace, and security. UN peacekeepers are the beating heart of our commitment to a more peaceful society. For 75 years, they have supported people and communities rocked by conflicts and upheaval across the globe, said Guterres. As he commended Captain Erzua, the UN boss said the UN urgently needs more women peacekeepers and peace builders in its missions. In receiving the award, Captain Cecilia Erzua acknowledged the importance of gender parity and the deployment of more women in peacekeeping. Despite the environmental challenges, we strive to serve as role models for the women, children, and members of the community, she said in her acceptance statement. She dedicates the award to the people of Abyei.
Won the United Nations Gender Advocate Award for the year 2022.
This is a beautiful surprise. I'm lost for words. I will just say a very big thank you to everybody for their support in achieving this feat. It is an award for all of us.
She thanked the Ghana's military high command for the trust reposed in her to lead a platoon along with sisters serving other females in the French battalion to Abyei. Reporting for QTV News, I am Alusise.
Well, congratulations to Captain Cecilia Erzua. Before we end, that's all we have for you, but before we end, a recap for main news headlines. At the maiden Congress of the Advisory Council on Elaboration of the Specialized Committees of the Supreme Islamic Council, the Vice President of the Gambia has called on Muslim leaders in the country to continue preaching peace and tolerance, especially during their Friday prayer sermons. The mayor of KMC and the 19 councillors who won in the local government election in Kanifing municipality were sworn in at a colorful ceremony at KMC at the weekend. Respected Islamic scholar and former diplomat Professor Dr. Omar Jah presided over the luncheon on Saturday of 3 books on Islam authored by Alhaji Usman Jah. The closing ceremony for the Made in Banjul International Surgical and Scientific Conference was held on Saturday in Banjul. In international news, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the former governor of Lagos, was sworn in on Monday as the 16th president and commander-in-chief of the armed forces in Nigeria. Well, that's all we have for you in this news bulletin. Join us at 10 p.m. for more news. Thanks for watching.